Okay. Like, all right, not the craziest thing I've ever heard. Kind of more like the second craziest, we'll call it. Yeah. Yeah.
Press X the podcast, the second craziest podcast on the internet.
Yeah, don't run those numbers. Just trust that they're real and that I'm telling you the truth. And that all of it is very accurate.
What's number one?
It's Press X to podcast.
Right. So it's both the craziest and the second craziest podcast.
Yeah. Funny coincidence that, but
yeah.
Nice. Nice.
I was just gonna start listing off podcasts I know that are like more and more improbable fits for that position. But you know what? Fuck it. Let's just take both spots. What is anybody else doing with them? Nothing, obviously.
yeah. Number one craziest, it's This American Life.
Oh.
Yeah.
Just the most milquetoast podcast around.
Yeah. Whatever's repping those strong NPR vibes this month. Pick one. I don't know. There's probably 100 of them. It don't matter.
There's got to be at least 100 NPR podcasts.
Yeah. I thought about it, and you're right.
Yeah, I was just, counting a few in my head. Yeah. The A's probably come close to 100.
Maybe like 70, 75,
Cool.
Riveting stuff. Okay.
How are you guys?
So good.
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad.
Got that first jab. Didn't die or feel any urge to make any terrible fucking jokes about 5G. Seriously, find a third thing to talk about in regards to this vaccine, you hacks.
I did see quite a bit. Yeah, go ahead.
I've seen some videos of some people sticking magnets to their arms after they were getting the shot.
Yeah. It's a deep well of comedy, and you're scraping the scum along the top.
Yeah.
You losers.
Is it the 5G itself that's magnetic, or
the microchip?
The chips.
That's the second joke.
I think that's what they're saying. Yeah, it's the chips.
Yeah.
I'm relatively confident that silicon is non-magnetic.
Yeah.
Oh, look at you, Mr. Facts, disproving the validity of this ridiculous premise.
I did see a really funny tweet on this topic where it was talking about how zombie films going forward are going to seem completely unrealistic unless everyone in society runs directly towards the zombies trying to get bit because they don't believe it.
Yeah, I would say that the scenes where the friend or the one guy is just like, no, I wasn't bit, I'm fine, and everybody immediately believes them, those scenes feel more plausible.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody thinks about it that hard. They're all just, no, it's fine. Obviously, he's good to go. Why would he lie to us?
Look into it, man. Look into it. The signs are everywhere.
Yeah.
Signs like video games.
Yeah. Who's playing them?
I played some.
I've been playing them. I've definitely been playing them.
I've heard of them. Anyway.
Rhett, when you answered that question just now, it sort of seemed like there was a gun pointed at you just off screen from your camera view. Like maybe somebody was like, say you like video games or you're fucking done. Like one of those things.
Yeah, no. I've been having a great time playing video games.
Okay.
Now, I feel like I have a bit of a better impression of the PlayStation 5 since I've played at least Resident Evil now, which is unreal. Been having a great time with it. But yeah, no, I've been having a good time all around for the past couple weeks playing games, regardless of what it's been. I got into a little bit of that Mass Effect Legendary I don't know. We might get into that later, but I feel like uh, the ship sailed on that one for me long
Really?
ago. You know what I mean? Yeah, like trying to get into it now, it feels like I would be more appreciative of it if I had already been through it. I don't know. Maybe I need to put some more time into it, but right now it's not really holding me.
So
I downloaded. Sorry, go ahead.
you're fresh into the Mass Effect. You've never played the trilogy before.
Never played any of them. Never played Andromeda. And I got like maybe 4 or 5 hours into the first game, and then I downloaded Andromeda, and I wanted to just compare, old and new. And yeah, no, Andromeda, it just doesn't feel right. Only having 4 or 5 hours into the original, and sure, the original is remastered and all that, but only having 4 or 5 hours into that, Andromeda, just something about it doesn't feel right. It feels very like floaty, and yeah, it's weird.
That's interesting because that's exactly how I would describe the original Mass Effect, is floaty.
Well, see, so maybe they tighten that up. Again, I have nothing to compare the legendary one to, but I don't know. I didn't really have any problems with precision or anything like that, or getting to where I wanted to be, at least in the first few hours. Yeah. But I mean, the first few hours is a lot of fucking running around and talking, and yeah.
That's that trilogy, man. There's a
Yeah.
lot of running around and talking.
Now, like, that is, if there's going to be anything that keeps me invested in that, it's going to be the surprisingly simplistic story that they're trying to tell. At least, again, in the early going here, one thing that kind of put me off was that with sci-fi games in general and movies, like, something with them often just doesn't click with me. And I think that a lot of the time I get lost in just all the sci-fi jargon. A lot of heavy dialogue with a lot of words, a lot of big words that I'm not catching. I there's one word I'm catching there and I'm missing two here, And so what has been cool with Mass Effect for the first few hours is that it is just the story of this like assassination. And you got this guy and he did some shit on this mission that you were on, and now you got to go get him. It's cool. It's cool like that.
Yeah, that's to me, that whole trilogy's greatest strength is its world building. And it doesn't beat you over the head with the world building. It is literally everywhere, and there is a ton of detail in everything, but you don't have to look at it unless you really want to. And right down to the name of the series, Mass Effect, which is the technology that powers this universe. It tells you exactly what it does in the name of the technology. It affects mass. Yeah. That's how they do space stuff with these fields. So as someone who has played through the original trilogy probably a half dozen times, I think this is the best version of it. They took a lot of care to make the original game feel a little less like the original game. So you're right, Rhett. There's a lot less floatiness. The combat is much more direct. It feels better. It doesn't necessarily feel as good as Mass Effect 2 and 3, which still feel really solid, by the way. But it is more of that ilk and more direct in terms of how you control things, how you guide the squad around. They're not quite as stupid. Using powers is a little bit easier than in the original game. It feels like combat is more flexible, even if it's not, just because it handles better. Yeah. But I think you should stick with it. It really goes some places, and it's the characters, like a good Bioware game, that truly drive it. It does expand into a giant galactic story, but it's about the people. And you'll want to spend an hour walking around the Normandy after every mission, talking to all your pals to find out what they thought about that last mission, because they're well written and they're well acted.
I was saying that I just feel like I've missed the boat on these games, and that's really what it is. At this point, I'm like, I got this PS5. I want to play new shit. And yeah, it's a 2021 version of these games, but it still feels like it's a game from 15 years ago. I want to play Returnal. I want to play. I think I'm going to play fucking Demon Souls. It's on sale right now. It
Ooh.
looks so good. I think I'm going to get it. Fuck it. I just want to play all this shit that's coming out. Ratchet and Clank. Ooh, I can't wait. I can't wait.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. It is an old game,
Yeah.
and it's the best they could possibly do without overhauling it. And in a way, I give them some kudos for not overhauling it more, because they could have recoded this into a new code base into Unreal 4, and it would definitely feel a lot more modern, but it wouldn't be the same game. That would be a remake, not a remaster. And I think it feels like they wanted to pay tribute to a game that was way ahead of its time. Because for a game that is almost 15 years old in Mass Effect 1, it doesn't feel that old. Like, you could, if you didn't know, you might think this came out, I don't know, 5 years ago. Something like that.
Sure.
But hey,
What really gets me is the menus. It all feels so clunky in the menus. It really feels dated. Maybe I heard my roommate was telling me that it gets better in the second and third one, and so, kudos to them if that's the case. But right now, I'm like, damn, it's so clunky going in there and trying to assign this weapon to this person and put this mod on this weapon, et cetera, et cetera.
so if you're not clicking with the first game, the Legendary Edition does include the between games comics that they built way back in the day for when this came out on weird platforms or new platforms. So you could just go straight to Mass Effect 2 and play through the little digital novel. It'll give you all the major choices from the first game without having to play through it. And Mass Effect 2 holds up very well. The mechanics and the handling of that game are still very, very good.
Maybe I should do that. Yeah. James?
Where do you sit on BioWare, James?
Oh, I bounce off those games no matter what BioWare game in a matter of hours. Sometimes 2, sometimes 4. They were like oil and water. I don't know what it is, but I can't fuck with BioWare games in general. I've had like an actual 0% success rate with all of their shit, and I've tried most of it. Yeah.
Well,
I don't know what it is.
This is not for you then.
No. like literally every major BioWare franchise, like Coder, Mass Effect, Dragon Age, all of that shit. I tried all of it. And I just, every time I'm like, nope, I'm out. 2 to 4 hours in. No exceptions.
The only one I completely bounced off of was Jade Empire. I don't know what it was about that game. I've tried the opening few hours several times and just... Yeah. Anyways.
You just can't fuck with that. That's fine.
What does click with you, James?
Well, the last couple of weeks have been extremely Switch focused. I haven't really turned on my PS5 whatsoever.
What a flex. This guy has a PlayStation 5. Nobody has one.
Yeah.
And he doesn't even bother to turn it on.
News that the shortage is going to get even worse. Fuck it. I'll get back to it next year.
I can't listen. All right. Here's the deal. It's not a complicated story, but I will take a long time to tell it because that's how I do things. One of the games I played was King of Seas, and I recognize that this is like well crafted in certain ways, and there's good systems in there and good bones, and the art style is nice and bright and colorful. I was real bored. Okay. I was real bored with King of Seas, having a real hard time putting the time in enough to like, do a respectful, proper write up of the thing. And I did. I have been playing around with a third party Switch controller. It's and so I was like, well, I gotta get some time in with something with this. And so when I wasn't playing King of Seas for a while, I was just. It's just way back into Diablo 3. I don't feel proud saying of it. It's basically digital heroin. It's
the habit.
It's bad for you. It does nothing for you, but there's just this like loop you can do where you start from 0 in the seasonals and you go up to doing like 70 billion damage a hit, and it's very compelling.
Oh, I know. I know all too well is the problem.
And that's the trouble. I'm covering something and I'm like, this is really boring. You know what I could be doing? It's right there on the dashboard. Same system. Don't even have to turn anything off. I could just hop over to that and like get a few rounds in and not play King of Seas. It was boring to me, but I recognize it had good things about it. I understand what was objectively done well about the game. It's got like tons of ship upgrades. You're a pirate ship. You're ripping around the seas, doing battle with other pirate ships. You have to like move the whole ship so the cannons are facing the right way on either side. Otherwise, you can't aim otherwise with the cannons. And like acceleration, deceleration is just literally just done by opening and closing the sails. It's all fascinating stuff, well-reasoned stuff, well-constructed, but I was just so bored.
It looks really slow.
Oh, yeah, a lot of sailing. I hope you're really into sailing, because holy shit, you do a lot of it.
That doesn't bode well, because when Sea of Thieves came out, we fired it up as a group, and there's a video on the YouTube of us playing Sea of Thieves, and God, it was fucking boring after about 18 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You said when it first launched?
Yeah.
That shit was brutal.
Yeah.
Brutal. I heard it's pretty good now, but it's been, 5 years?
Too late, man. Too late.
Way too late. Way too late.
Oh, not too late for the water physics, though. That's some of the best looking water I've ever seen.
Gorgeous. It was gorgeous on original Xbox. I bet it's really nice on the Series X.
That'd be a good end of the year category. Best water.
Yeah.
Let's do some stupid shit this year, guys.
Yeah, sure.
Truly. Man, everybody's got... we need best game, but everybody's got best performance, best song. Man, that's all boring. It's all the same shit. It's all the same, like, top 3 things,
Here's a thought. What if we made up categories specifically to honor games that we want to shout out from the year? Things that would win no traditional category, but it would win this incredibly specific award that we've just invented.
I like it. Dig it.
I think we could definitely chuck a couple of those in there.
Narita Boy.
I still haven't played that. I know you told me I should play it, Rhett. I haven't played it yet.
It's good. It really is.
And why is it good? Did we even talk about that?
No, I didn't know if we were gonna carve out a chunk of time for Narita Boy, but breakdown 30 seconds. It's good, really interesting visual style. It's like got this 80s neon kind of VHS look to it, and the music is really good. There's a couple really, really solid original tracks for the start and the end of the game. Fucking awesome. Runs well on Switch too. A few issues with slowdown towards the end of the game, as many of these Switch ports have. They always run pretty well until you get to the last part of a game where they start throwing the most shit at you, and things start to chug along, and that's exactly what happens with this one.
Oh yeah, this looks cool.
Yeah, it's good. Combat's fun. It's one of those I would say as well. I thought that it was kind of slow through the first hour. It's not until you get your first couple upgrades that it really starts to click and get fun.
Nice. James, we totally stole your thunder and stopped talking about King of Seas.
Apologies.
Let's see, what else can I say about King of Seas? Every quest involves sailing to a place. Sometimes you just grab a thing and sail back. Sometimes you sail to a place, kill a guy,
Ooh.
rob the floating wreckage, and then sail back to the port town. When you want to get resources, you sail past an island. You see a little glint in the distance on the beach. You just kind of do a slow drive by and pick it up on your way through. But like everything is sailing. So basically you'll know in the first hour, you're like, okay, I love this mechanic. I want to play this forever. Or, just this then, huh?
So you can get off the boat or you can't get off the boat?
Oh no, your boat. You're a boat, basically.
You are the boat.
Yeah, you never see any crew. Yeah, really, in menus and in dialogue boxes, they're like, all right, this many people hopped on your ship, and it's like, it says there's 51. Also, it looks to be about the size, big enough for 6 cannons. But we got 50 people in here. I guess most of them are rowing or something below decks. But you're just a little boat ripping around this map, shooting cannons. The upgrade process is pretty steady. You're always finding new shit and boosting your stats and stuff like that. And there's different kinds of damage you can do against different guys and whatnot. But I don't know, man. It's just whatever. Very whatever.
On the other hand, Narita Boy has a weapon called the Techno Sword.
Technosword, man. That's actually the only weapon in the game.
Oh, shit. Do you need anything else?
You don't, because, well, I don't want to spoil. I don't want to spoil anything.
Okay. James, did you play anything good?
Kind of.
Okay.
The other one I spent some time with over the last week was Metopia. I think it first came out in the 3DS back in 2016.
Mm-hmm.
And it is ostensibly an RPG. There is a quest to go on. Everybody's faces have been stolen by some purple asshole, and you have to get them all back. But I could really give a rip about the story. The best part, the only good parts, are making Miis to fill all the roles, because every single character in the game is something that you can make the face and body for, which I had a lot of fun with.
Mm-hmm.
And then all the the little extra bits, those are the other fun parts. The actual main quest, fighting and progressing from town to town and completing quests, couldn't give a shit. It's really boring. But oh my god, I made some real wacky monstrosities in the character creator.
So making Miis is still good, is what you're saying?
Yeah, because they give you the ability to apply makeup, and there's a bunch of makeup slots for every character. There's lots of stuff you can add to it. You can do all sorts of shit with their face, and you can throw a wig on them with 2 different colors of hair and all these different styles. And every component of the face is on a long set of sliders. And I found out that you can move a person's lips all the way up to the forehead, and the eyebrows can go all the way down to where the nose sits right here.
Fucking mangled.
Yeah. And you can change the size of the different body parts. So you can take eyelashes. You can spin them up so they're 6 times the size of normal, and you rotate them. So instead of doing this, they sort of swing around. And I turned a set of eyelashes bright pink. I made them 6 times larger, and I set them on the bottom of my character's chin that I was designing. And so he had an eyelash beard. And plus you can change the color of their skin with foundation, so you can make some really horrible shit if you put your mind to it.
Yeah,
it's pretty great.
Terrific.
Yeah. And like all the little things you do when you're not like fighting and finishing quests, that's the rad shit, because your characters, like, they form bonds with each other and they get closer and they have like all these weird little conversations unprompted. You don't really participate. They just talk independent of your actions. And like they'll be like, "Oh man, can't wait to go to the shop and like get some goblin ham." And the other guy's like, "Oh my god, you eat that crap? That's horrible." And you like feed all the food you pick up, you like feed them, and they're either like bleh, or they're like, they love it so much they'd like lift out of their chair and spin around like they're on a fucking rocket or something like that. And like every time two Miis get closer to each other, they get new support moves and new like boosts, or they'll like give pep talks to the other person, or like lift them back up off the ground if they get knocked on their ass, or like do like pincer moves and stuff like that. And also, they let you design a horse, which was probably a mistake on their part. I made mine unspeakably evil. Like, literally, the first thing I thought of was like, "Oh, you can give it horns, huh? Ah, that's cool." So yeah, so the extra shit and the non-quest stuff is amazing. The quest is unbelievably boring. Also, the game is really, really easy. I sort of turned on auto battle like after like an hour and a half and just never looked back. They just kind of do their own thing, and I'm like, "All right, guys, good job. You won. Good for you. Let's hustle. Let's head on back to the end. Eat some snacks."
Interesting.
Yeah,
Like,
it's fun, but I don't think in the way it was meant to be.
yeah, I'm having a hard time parsing out in my head who this is for. Like, is this a kid's game, or is, like, who's the target here?
I think it's generally younger. It generally, the audience probably skews younger, or it's great fun, I would imagine, to do like a Twitch stream or a Let's Play for, because then you can like get all your community friends, put them in the slots. There's 500 spaces for Miis in this game. Like, every single character, even like the NPCs and the shopkeepers and like the town guards on either end of any given village, all of them can be played by characters you create. Also, certain outfits aren't like, they're not like locked to any gender or class or anything like that. So if you want, you can do what I did and make a person named Derek, who has like his bald except for like the strip of hair around the back, like a half crown. And it's
the
like
cul-de-sac.
Yeah, the cul-de-sac. He's got cul-de-sac hair and like
Nice.
beady yellow eyes and sunken cheeks, and his skin is this sort of like swampy green, and he's dressed in like the idol's outfit, which is like a big polka dot on top of the head and a pretty little dress, and he swings this like cute pink microphone around and like sings songs to boost the spirits of the rest of the party members, and he looks like a zombie car salesman. It's amazing.
Yeah, love it. Love
Way to
it.
go, Derek.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Killing it.
Oh,
And then him and another guy I cooked up, who just looks like an adult, like just a man in his mid 30s with like tinted glasses on, with like a regular beard, just like the two of them like going adventures together. It's awesome.
This is fully unrelated to Metopia, but I was out on a hike like a week or two ago and walked past this kid who had a
cul-de-sac?
almost.
Oh,
This
okay,
was
sorry.
a non-ironic mullet. We're
Oh,
talking
yeah.
Oh,
mid
Good
back
steez.
length.
Good steez. Yeah.
that's amazing.
Yeah.
And I assume this was his family he was with. Nobody else was doing this. Like, this was fully his choice. I wanted the
It's
mullet.
coming back. It's making its way back. It really is. You're gonna be seeing more of that, especially
That's cool.
with people emerging from hibernation. You're gonna be seeing a lot of this. So get ready.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
Cannot wait.
Yeah. Hopefully, it's here to stay this time.
That's not how fashion works, Brett, which is unfortunate, but
Yeah,
true.
good point. Good point. Good point.
Exceptions to every rule, though.
But really, like, is that not the haircut of the future? Like, when you think about it, it serves a dual purpose, efficient. I don't really think you could, well, maybe a shaved head, realistically, as far as like an efficient hairstyle. But other than a shaved head, mullet.
Can you describe what you mean by efficient?
Well, when you need to get ready for a business meeting, you're already business in the front. And when you need to get ready for, you know,
For business.
Yeah, for with a D, and then you've got the long hair in the back.
right, you're ready to go.
Yeah. Well, I will concede that the mullet is an efficient haircut.
Nice.
It's probably like number 11 on the list of efficient haircuts. In fact, most haircuts are good for more than one social situation because you're sort of stuck with it for a while. So it kind of has to be adaptable. I mean, I recognize that some people have just straight up like long hair or hair that you can do things with. I, as a man with a curly head, I can't do anything with my hair. Okay. And so I have been forced to accept that this just has to work for every social situation. So I don't understand people who just like change their shit up for like a party or something. I'm like, who are you and how do you go about your day? It doesn't make any sense to me. This fake half fro thing, this just has to work everywhere for everything, or else I'm hooped. I just there's nothing I can do.
I don't know, man. You could cut that into a pretty gnarly cul-de-sac.
Yeah.
Damn. That's true, though. That's true. I mean, I guess we could all have some pretty nice looking cul-de-sacs, really. Maybe one day,
Yeah.
fellas. Maybe one day.
I'm getting married in the fall, in the
Perfect
winter.
timing. Perfect timing.
What I'm saying is that if I don't want the wedding to be called off, I cannot cut it into a cul-de-sac. All right, it's
No
very
way.
important that I not do this.
Day after, then. What's your
Do
excuse
you-
there? You got it locked down?
Yeah.
What do you got
Do
to
y'all
lose?
like? Yeah, 100%. Do y'all like Seinfeld?
Of course.
I mean, I'm
Yeah.
aware of the show. It holds a spot in my memories.
Right. So
Go on.
Right. In your household, it's not really like a thing. It's not really.
It was for a time when it aired.
I mean, you got to be excited about marrying George Costanza if it comes down to it. You know what I mean?
You don't. It's demonstrably untrue. I mean, George had to adopt that perspective because he had no choice. Like with me, with my curly hair, you just you have to be okay with it because you can't not be okay with it because it's just that's what you get. That's the hand you've been dealt.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose.
Man, that was a real detour. How did we get there?
Don't know. Oh, and I guess I will mention quickly that the controller I was testing when I was playing all those games, including the ones I wasn't supposed to be, like Diablo, it's a PowerAce Fusion Pro, and I think it fixes the Switch Pro controller because it adds a goddamn headphone jack, which it's the one thing it's missing. Also, it can switch from wireless to wired mode. Also, you kind of have to have it in wired mode in order to use the headphone jack, but the cord is 10 feet long, so I'm kind of okay with that.
All right.
It might replace my Pro controller for a while. It's a pretty good rig, man.
Yeah, PowerAce stuff's pretty good in general. I've had I think originally it was supposed to be an Xbox 360 controller, or Xbox One maybe. But I've been using it on my PC for the last several years, and it's very solid.
Nice.
Nice sticks, nice buttons, good grips, nice shape. and often half the price. Never hurts.
Yeah. Well, this one is about the same as as a Pro controller because
Okay.
it also has like swappable faceplate. You can pop the thumbsticks out and
Got it. It had Pro in the name, so
yeah. And okay, there's this thing that I've seen some controllers do where they put extra buttons in the back.
yeah.
Now, with the Fusion, you can just pop that piece right off or pop it back on. But I don't understand the point of those buttons. They don't feel useful. It's not the way my hands hold a controller. It's always like, this doesn't feel any faster than the buttons immediately under my thumb. This feels extraneous. Like, I don't feel like I need this in my life.
I think the idea is access the face buttons without taking your thumb off the right stick. That's the theory.
Yeah. Yeah. They're not placed well if that's the case. Cuz like I always felt like I had to like do weird shit with my fingers on the underside in order to get to those buttons, and like maybe you get used to it, but like especially at first I was like, not this maybe. But it's easy to pop off and just forget about it. You just put another plate back on and then that's it. But yeah, I wasn't into it. Otherwise the controller's great.
I've never loved the back paddle buttons. Like, yes, you have access to the right stick, but whoops, now I'm crouching and I just reloaded and that was bad.
Yeah, oops. While you're busy messing with your rifle, somebody's putting the whole clip right into your midsection, right in your sternum.
That is indeed how I play shooter games. Yep.
Yep.
I'm the king of the wrong second reload or the, oh my god, they're coming, it's time for a grenade. That's a classic. Like, the gun would certainly be better at this range from this angle. It's time for a grenade.
Listen, when is it ever not time for a grenade? Realistically, what situation in battle could you not drastically improve with the presence of a grenade?
Yeah.
That's always been my theory. Teammates don't seem to love that. Yeah. But hey,
Fuck 'em.
they made respawns for a reason. That's when your grenade doesn't work out.
Yeah. Or worse, too well, but maybe on the wrong people, you know.
You could make the argument that that's still pretty effective.
True. Okay, so anybody else play any stuff? Any things? Any bits, any bobs?
Yeah, Rhett, did you have any thoughts about Village? How do you think that compares to RE7?
Haven't finished it yet, but I think it's a better game. I think that 7 had a better opening act, but Village as a whole, it's kept me much more engaged. And it has a lot to do with how well crafted all the areas are. The like 4, yeah, I guess you could call it 4. They're the 4 main like levels. You know, you've got the castle, the house, those areas are keeping me a lot more engaged, much more engaged than everything after the house in RE7 did. Everything after the house, like the cave and all that, it was just like, I don't know, you'd felt like you had seen it all at that point. And man, I don't know, it didn't keep me hooked. Now with Village, on the other hand, I want to collect these flasks. I want to go out and collect all the treasures. They do a really good job of hooking you in that way. And I can't remember if in 7 they like revealed where as much or as many of the treasures and collectibles were. But from the get-go, you get your map opened up and it gives you like, I don't know, 7 or 8 of them. So yeah, it's kept me a lot more interested in going out there and exploring everything. And I mean, again, everything is just so beautiful that tough to not want to go and explore every nook and cranny, you know?
Yeah. I really like how well, I mean, it's kind of the same flow as any RE game in that you're in the hub and then you move off to a side area and do some stuff. But I like how nicely compartmentalized each of the areas is, like the castle and the house, like you were mentioning. And each one has its own very distinct flavor.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel familiar at all, and it seems like anything could happen at any moment, and usually does. So it's almost like having a bunch of smaller games within this larger RE experience. It really keeps it fresh throughout the whole run.
Yeah, exactly. It does a really good job of keeping you on the edge of your seat. You're always like anticipating the next attack, but they do a good enough job of mixing up when that attack will come. Sometimes they do give you long breaks in between. Sometimes they will pepper you. Mm-hmm. I just did Heisenberg's like game, you know, go up, good luck and everything, and that was like the first like real bit of action, I would say, you know, and of course it's towards the end of the game. Yeah. So I was thinking about what you were saying last time about how it's much more action oriented. It is, no doubt, but I don't know, the moments feel more important than they did in RE7. The encounters with the enemies feel more important. Maybe that's because the enemy design is so much better. So much better. Those zombie werewolves are actually terrifying.
Yeah.
Like, they're crazy. And like the zombies, the more traditional zombies, like everything's really well designed. RE7, a lot of it was just like blobs, you know, like these blob monsters coming at you. Got old quick.
Yeah, it keeps the personality high, especially with the big bads who, you know, are menacing you along the way. Yeah. It doesn't get old. They don't overstay their welcome, and I know that was part of Jazz's review. He wished that the big bads, especially Lady Dimitrescu, had hung around a little longer because you wanted more of that. But yeah. I think that's an intentional choice, that they want you to finish this thing, and they want you to come right back and start a new game. They want you to start a speed run or something like that to keep playing the experience and find more stuff.
Apparently the replayability is off the charts with this one too.
Yeah.
Which always, you know, it's usually the case with these games.
Fully believe that.
I'm really looking forward to break. Like I've heard that people are just breaking the game on these speed runs now, and yeah, not quite through it yet, but hopefully I will finish that off the next few days.
Time's running short, man. You're gonna run out of days before Ratchet and Clank comes out.
Yeah, that's coming up pretty quick. Like I said, though, I'm going to squeeze Demon Souls in there, I think.
I mean, why not? I know James has fully fucked that game, but because of the half health when you die mechanic. But
well, I don't think I'm in the right headspace for Soulsborne games anymore. Like, I think that part of my life is, if it's not done, there was like a sort of peak that I'm probably never getting back to in terms of like my interest in it, my abilities there, my patience for that style of gameplay, you know what I mean? Like it just feels like that part of my life as a gaming person who games is just behind me, and that's fine. You know, I'm perfectly okay with that. I feel like I've tried a couple of times to like get back into that mindset, to that mode. And I don't know, it's not like riding a bike at all. It's a totally opposite thing. It's just you. It's not a country you can go back to once you leave. I don't know. It's crazy for me, at least. Maybe it's different for other people. Maybe they have it and they never lose it. But like, I don't know, man. I'm just not that guy anymore.
I've never been.
Oh well, fuck. Demon Souls is a hell of a place to start, man.
Yeah. Right.
Oh god. Original. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh. All right, have at her, man.
Yeah, I mean, I've never loved any of those games, except maybe Bloodborne. Even though I am almost universally not very good at them and require a lot of head bashing to make any progress whatsoever. So, you know, all of the From games like Neo, I want to love them and then never end up loving them, except for Bloodborne. And I don't know what it is about that game. It's something to do with the atmosphere that just really draws you in, even if you're just getting completely slaughtered. I will be curious to see what Elden Ring is all about, if and when that ever happens. I'm not convinced that it will ever come out because George R.R. Martin is attached to it.
Yeah, they fucked up and they hired him to like help make the game, so it's never happening.
All they have from him is the title. That's it. This is a 12-book series, and I've written 312 words.
God damn.
Oh.
Anyways,
Make it, George. You're gonna make it, George.
should we talk about the news? We don't have a lot of news, James.
Well, it was the day when I went to the office, because we're recording this on a day when I actually go downtown to like do my day job. And so instead of like having all day to like pick away at news articles and see what's cool, what's trending, what's in the hot seat this week, I was doing the other stuff. That's why I'm dressed kind of like a responsible adult right now, instead of just, you know, the normal Hawaiian shirt, pink shorts, tank top combo that I rock.
It's a little
generally,
it's a little
you know?
disturbing, man.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
Well,
So,
yeah. I mean, this is a great opportunity. We can just pull stuff right off the site, you know? This is going to be the freshest news, the hottest takes.
Nice.
I did notice that, like, this is something that popped up in our Discord chat a little bit over the last little while, that Biomutant publisher THQ Nordic sort of, they didn't become Twitter's main character. They did become gaming Twitter's main character for a little while, because they published this wacky tweet that was just like quotes from like different reviewers, like with like, you know, criticisms of the game, and then they like posted this like GIF in response that was just like kind of like a, whoa, what did you expect? Oh, kind of like this really like shitty edgelord response to something which is not something you normally see you know, publishers doing. And personally, I think between this and them like doing that AMA on 8chan a little while back, that maybe THQ Nordic just has like a space in their mouth specifically set aside for their foot, and that this is just something that happens with them going forward.
I mean, I know there was a lot of hype around this game, and people who had played it in a preview context at shows or at events in the past were pretty excited about playing it for real. I was in no way surprised that this is a really mediocre game, though. Super mediocre. I mean, it sounds like THQ knew that it was going to be mediocre as well, and that's maybe why they're, you know, trying to pump their own tires by being edgy.
It was just such a confusing take, just such a confusing stance for them to take. It'd be like, yeah, we're just gonna, I don't like poke reductive bullshit mean fun at like the entire concept of games criticism. It was just like, fuck you, reviewers. It's just like, okay, sure. like I get that there's a certain subsect of the gaming population out there that thinks every one of us should be stuck in a barge and floated off to the fucking middle of the Pacific, but like,
Prey. That's how Prey started.
okay. Salient point, Rhett. I hadn't thought of that.
Fucking
Yeah.
game reviewers trying to get society to walk right into the beginning of their own video game. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, you know what else I saw coming up in the conversation? Because we've been talking about it for weeks, or it's been coming up for weeks. Apple versus Epic. This is apparently just like the lawsuit where all the skeletons come like fucking ripping out of the closet one after the other. And one of them is about Roblox. Now, this is a real shock to me. I had no idea. But Roblox is the company, the game that made the third highest amount of money for a game, like, worldwide.
Yep.
It's like,
Yeah.
they're worth like some like they did their IPO, I think, recently. People were like, holy fuck, really?
Yeah, I don't even know what the game is.
See, there's a loop and we're not in it. We're not anywhere near it. It's like a it's like a platform where you can make your own simple games with simple tools and assets, and then like people like play them and download them, and some rise to the top and stuff like that. A story came out recently about how the guy that made, like, I don't know how to pronounce it, the one that the game whose name is just like 6 V's. That guy.
Mm-hmm.
That guy made a little platforming game inside of Roblox. And it was like Climb the Giant Man or whatever. I don't know. The name was even dumber than that somehow. But like, you know, it looked cool. It was cool. It was a cool 3D platforming game inside of Roblox. And people, and between that and the lawsuit and like all these other little like I think they revealed like what their sales have been to this point, and it's like they're in the billionaires club. It's the billion sales. They've had some billion amount of sales. And it's just like, oh, okay. That's cool. Good to know that you're such a fucking titan. Also, another cool thing about that, like the 3 highest earning games list was that number 2 is PUBG, which shocked me, and number 1 I'd literally never heard the name of before that article. I think it was called like Honor of Kings or something, and it's a 10-cent game, and it's just
Of course.
Oh,
Yeah.
boy. Of course it's a 10-cent game. I mean, most games are kind of 10-cent games at this point.
it's true.
At least a little bit.
They're the they're the Genghis Khan of share acquisition. You name the company, they got a little bit of it. You know, every single one, including like Riot Games and like, yeah, the guys who do League of Legends and the guys who do Fortnite and the guys who do like, do they have a little bit of Blizzard Activision? I feel like they have a little bit of Blizzard Activision.
think so.
I think they do. I think
it's a
they got a bit of that.
relatively big chunk.
Yeah.
They also own, a third of a lot of movie studios.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of 10-cent pictures stuff that you might not expect.
Yeah, you can back when like 2019, in 2018 when you were still going to movie theaters, anytime you were at a theater and you were watching previews, you could count how many times you saw the 10-cent logo in a preview, or how many previews had the 10-cent logo, and the number higher than you were anticipating.
Higher than
Certainly higher than it used to be.
higher than 10%.
Yeah, actually.
Well, they're taking over the world. It's fine. I mean, as long as they're funding cool stuff and there's creative freedom being given, I don't really have a problem with that.
Yeah. For the moment, they're just content to amass incredible amounts of money. And, yeah.
Speaking of amassing incredible amounts of money, I could take this in one of any directions, but I did just see that there are confirmed release dates for the new Pokemon games.
That's right.
Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl will be released on November 19th. And Pokemon Legends Arceus? How do you say it?
I think it's like Arceus, I think.
Arceus?
I don't know. Arceus.
I think it's Arceus.
Arceus.
Anyways,
Arceus.
the legendary.
Arceus. January
Pokemon...
28th, 2022.
Yeah.
Buckle up, baby.
22. Nice.
That very specifically leaves some space in Nintendo's holiday calendar, which makes me wonder what they're going to show at the newly shambling from the grave E3.
My guess is we'll get like maybe 60 seconds of footage from the new Breath of the Wild.
Are you sure you don't want to make the same prediction you made last year? Which was, I think we will get a title card for the new Metroid game. Or is that a bridge too far at this point?
Wow, we didn't even get that, did we? Huh? Jesus. No. Instead, we got news that like key members of the development are being fired or quitting or need to be replaced last minute. Yes.
Wow, this is a weird thing to include in this presentation, but okay.
Yeah, also, if you know like a narrative lead, we really need one. Just like, good.
Final touches though. Really, everything's fine. It's all perfect.
Yeah.
We just need a little bit of polish.
Just tightening a few bolts, writing maybe the middle two middle quarters. That's all. Nothing serious.
But speaking of E3,
yep,
stuff's been happening, and there's going to be an Xbox and Bethesda Studios showcase. They're gonna show things. Although, I did also hear a rumor that Starfield is pretty fucked and not anywhere near to being done.
Guaranteed. It's like everything else.
So they're going to have a 90-minute show packed with everything you want to know about the epic gaming lineup coming out of this Xbox Bethesda partnership.
It's going to be a bunch of bullshit.
It will, Rhett. It will be a bunch of bullshit. Expect some Elder Scrolls Online. Mm-hmm. And something about the mobile game. And whatever. They'll drag a couple of them back out from the fucking crypt. It's fine. And
Fallout 3 remaster, maybe?
Oh, I'd take that. I'd fuck with that, but Jesus Christ, how much time is that going to eat up? 4 minutes? Fuck. Fallout 76.
Oh, you know they've got an expansion of that piece of shit.
Big presentation for 76. They probably got 20, 25 minutes dedicated to it. This is going to be it.
We'll get a 90-second trailer for Halo Infinite. Coming 2023.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Holiday
I just realized,
2023.
This just occurred to me now. But is Bethesda and Microsoft, is that one presentation?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Do you know what this means? Previous years, they were separate presentations because they had enough content to fill 2 shows. And now neither one of them have that. So they're mashing it together in the hopes that it can make 90 minutes of content, and they're still gonna fuck it up.
Yeah.
They're gonna combine like the Wonder Twins, and they're gonna have so much empty bullshit like DLC and like dedications to the hardworking employees who got through the pandemic. You fucking know that's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Live orchestra, band, playing them out.
I mean, I hope that they don't fuck it up, but also I think there's a high chance that Sony just swag walks into Summer Games Fest being like, we don't need E3, what up? And drops 2 hours of banger content.
Yeah. 15 minutes of Metal Gear Solid remake footage. Yeah. Woo, man.
God of War Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Horizon 2. I don't know, whatever else they're working on. There's Final Fantasy 16.
Yeah.
You know that shit's all gonna be there.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's happening on June 13th, so we don't have to wait that long to find out what the fuck's going on.
I've got time blocked set aside so I can take it all in. Really, it's gonna be good.
I want to see you live stream reactions, James.
If nothing else, we can do a Discord hangout for the conference, and then everybody can like pipe in and, you know, Mystery Science Theater 3000 style, just heckle to each other about the embarrassing bullshit that whatever company is pulling off.
Yeah.
I'd be down for that. That sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Last piece of news. It's not really news. This is not news whatsoever. It's a thing that I heard about and know nothing about. You guys heard of hot tub streaming?
Yes.
What?
Well, it's there's a section of Twitch streaming that's like just chatting, and this has been a slowly evolving subsection that's like really gaining in popularity and power, because some streamers have realized that, actually just connecting with fans directly without like a game in the way is like way better for engagement. Like, people, you get closer to people, you learn more about them, they learn more about you, you're answering questions. Yes, the money is better. And because it was just like, I guess somebody was like, well, shit, if I'm just sitting here, I'm gonna fill up a plastic tub full of water and just hang out in it, and stream that way. And like, listen, if you want to strip down to your skivs, get in front of a camera, and flop around in a kiddie pool, and that works for you, like people respond to that and they like come on and they watch, you know, by all means, get after it, you know.
Absolutely.
Make that bread.
Yeah.
Fuck.
What is the issue here?
I don't know. Just people being mad that they don't have a rockin' bod they can use. They can monetize themselves.
It's exactly what it is.
Like,
It's exactly what it is.
I can't take my shirt off and make money doing it. I'm like, yeah, because you don't diet or exercise or care about this shambling shell you fucking tug around every day. Like,
here we go. Like, this is what I'm talking about. Yeah.
This person's worked hard. They do themselves up. They do the exercises. They do the diets. They do the fad diets. They do the non-fad diets.
Kill
they
themselves
put
in
in the
the
time.
gym.
Yes,
Yeah.
hours every day
Like,
to fucking make sure that this body of theirs is camera ready.
Yeah.
And if they get rewarded for that, then fucking great, you know?
Yeah. You got it, man. Respect it.
Yeah.
Respect
Jesus.
the hustle.
Yeah.
Anyways, since we buried the lead here, the story is that Twitch decided to demonetize or take ads away from one of these hot tub streamers.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
just
one of them,
Right.
a popular one.
It's a precedent.
And
Yeah.
not really deal with anything else that was going on. So inconsistent application of Twitch community guidelines has been a problem for them forever, which it's incredible that they're still at that point being as big as they are. But hey, they done goofed again, and they eventually gave ads back to this person.
Oh, okay.
So don't worry. The hot tub is safe.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
It's just whatever helps you connect with your viewers. I've seen people I've seen people cook on stream. I've seen people cook on stream, which just involves flailing a knife around in a maid's outfit and not exactly knowing how to chop things. That's fine,
Which stream is that?
Can I get a URL?
I don't have the URL handy, but
help a guy out here.
there is somebody who I follow on Twitter. It goes by Suzu, who collects knives. That's her thing. Okay. She's a knife person. She plays games and she has cool knives, and companies will like send her knives because she has good knife visibility. Okay. It's just like.
So Suzu knives company sends her. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll look into it.
Yeah, and you find your niche, you find your following, and the happiness and also income comes after that. I don't know. Truly.
Well, I'll tell you one thing: you'll never catch us podcasting from the hot tub time machine. I mean, probably not. Never say never.
I couldn't fit a hot
maybe.
tub in this room.
What I'm saying is probably.
Yeah. I could probably figure something out. That PS5 now. I want to get streaming. We got that PS5 now, so.
Yeah, bro. Get it done.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I could go shirtless with like a big pool floaty, just in no water. Just have that. That's just good. Like peeking out of the camera and be like, hey.
Who could really tell the difference, honestly?
Like a waterless hot tub, a waterless tub. It's just nothing. I'm just shirtless with this thing on. It's fine.
This sounds like the next big fad. The waterless tub.
Yeah. It's all performative gestures. None of it's real. It's television. What do you care about the difference? Come on.
Showbiz.
Yeah.
What do you guys got coming up in the next couple of weeks? Anything cool on your plates?
That is entirely up to the dice rolls that are code distribution and acquisition.
Yeah.
There's things I'm interested in. Things I'm excited about. Things that I'm looking forward to. Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade. I will probably pick up no matter what in some form, just to I'm kind of curious to see if there is a difference for the PS5 version, because all the trailers, they were in 1080, so I have no idea if the game looks better or what.
I bet it looks insane.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
That it looks so good.
Yeah.
Also,
so that's
yuppie.
Cool. Yeah, she's great. In the original, she's she follows this weird formula that a bunch of Final Fantasy games leaned on, where the kind of quirky, fun, slightly annoying, airheaded girl is also the most powerful character in the game. They did this for a few games. They definitely did it for 7. They did it for 8. I think they did it for 10 too, because there was Riku, the blonde, Abed or whatever. She is also secretly a remorseless killing machine if you train her up right.
The lack of remorse being the key point there, of course.
Yeah, it's a weird Final Fantasy trope that only emerged once they started making the move to 3D. Once they started having the power to give people these kinds of personalities, then it was oh, the ditzy one. Yeah, keep that one. That one's the strongest. And it's basically always true.
Even Final Fantasy VI holds to that because that had Realm, the murder child who was secretly the best magic user in the game.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's kind of amazing.
Gotta look into this.
I think... I don't know, but... I think it was true with 12, too. I think 12 had, like, a goofy character as well, and then she was, like, a real powerhouse. Like your childhood friend that you sign on with.
Yeah, I don't remember what
She's
that
like
character's
cute
called.
and blonde and bubbly and
Yeah.
just like very upbeat and like is willing to like smack the main character in the head whenever he gets too like dumb or childish. Yeah, no, she's an unstoppable murder god. Or she can be. It's just how it is with these games.
12 is the one where they started really stylizing the names, or putting a lot of effort into the English translation so that it had a feel for the world. It also makes the character names much more difficult to remember.
It's true.
Well, anyways, I'm sure we'll play games for next time.
Yeah, there'd be that. Looking forward to the Legend of Mana remastered coming out next month.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
that looks cool.
I was considering trying to review Disgaea 6, but I kind of need to play that game at my own pace. Also, I don't really play them. Well, there's no really wrong way to play it, but like, I just sort of make a beeline for like the game's equivalent of a loot cave, and just hang out there and harvest experience until every character is like max level and an unstoppable, attack machine or whatever. It's a very strange game. Sometime next month, we'll have a podcast episode where I will dedicate probably a good 20 minutes to Disgaea, and it's like pure madness.
Nice.
I'm holding out for that Ratchet and Clank. Oh, it would be
Yeah.
sweet. Oh,
So
it's gonna be
delicious.
good.
Also there's a Mario Golf game coming out next month.
That's what I was
Yes.
gonna say, yeah, Mario Golf coming out. That is going to be very nice as well. They released a little like character trailer, a mode trailer. I really like the look of this rush mode that you got 1 to 4 people, ideally 4, and it's like a speed game. You drive, chip, whatever, and then you're off. You're sprinting to your ball, and it's kind of got like Mario Kart style mechanics where you're picking up power-ups and you're knocking people around off the course. It looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah,
It looks like it could be a banger.
Yeah, it sounds fun.
Yeah.
Also, that Ninja Gaiden collection is coming out next month.
Ooh. Oh,
I'm
yeah.
very curious if those games hold up.
Which games are in the collection?
1, 2, and 3 Sigma, I think.
Yeah,
Those
I'm
were-
good.
Like the 3D Ninja Gaidens.
Right. Those what were PS2?
I want to say Xbox.
Xbox.
Yeah,
Right.
original Xbox.
Original
Yeah.
Xbox.
So
Interesting.
nice that there's a lot of stuff coming out in June. Usually June is the absolute dead zone thanks to E3, but
Yeah.
some big plays, some big flexes this month. Looking forward to it.
Yeah. It's going to be a good time.
It is going to be a good time, James. And if you're looking for a good time in between these podcasts, you should check out cogconnected.com. That's where we write the things. That's where we post the things. That's where we host the things.
It's true.
Oh,
All those things are true.
so you should go there. Click on all the links. We love clicks. You should also click on the thumbs up button for this video or this podcast. Subscribe to the podcast. Subscribe to all our social stuff, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Do all the things.
Find us on YouTube.
Also YouTube. That's a good one.
I do a bunch of the videos.
Some of them with your face.
Some of them with my face.
Wow.
Although I found out that when I'm just talking to a camera and I don't have something proper to focus on, that I do this thing where my eyes roll into the back of my head whenever I'm trying to think of something. And because they're unscripted, this happens frequently, which is, I'm assuming, somewhat unsettling.
James, I'm going to give you a suggestion
Yeah.
it's really going to take people's minds off what your eyeballs are doing. Cul-de-sac cut. Think about it, man.
Wait,
Think about it.
that is good, Steve's cul-de-sac, especially
I was
if you.
I was thinking just like these, you know, that way you can't see the eye roll. All right, I get my bomb glasses, okay, and then he could be doing any number of things back there. We'll never know.
Listen, the glasses are fun, the glasses are cool, but if you had a cul-de-sac, I'm telling you, you don't see it because you've never had it. But when you have it, you'll be like, fuck yeah, I look like fucking John McClane or something, you know?
Hardest conceivable pass, but thank you. Your input is very appreciated. I value it. I'm glad to have these notes from my next haircut, which will 100% not be a cul-de-sac.
We'll see about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll talk offline. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
yeah. Stay tuned for next week where there may be a cul-de-sac on the show. Just saying.
Yeah, it's gonna be you, Rhett. If it's gonna be somebody, it's gonna be you. Heads up, it's
Not
not
this. Not this. No.
me. Okay. No.
That
Okay.
ain't going nowhere. No, just JK. It already actually is a cul-de-sac. No.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we're not doing that though. Okay.
We might be doing that. We'll see. Anyways, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening, everybody. We do appreciate your time and your attention. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. And we'll see you next time right back here on Press X the Podcast. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.